Hello, good morning and good afternoon if you're watching from wherever you are. Maybe a good afternoon, maybe a good morning. This is Kataps once again. For us, we do farming videos. However, today we have come with something very new. We are looking at how farmers have misused ART or ARVs, giving them pigs and poultry or chickens. We wonder why. So today we are discovering what is the effect and what is the cause of that. Our research conducted in some parts of Uganda showed that in some parts of a chicken, especially the breast, if tested, there are traces of HIV drugs, especially the efavirenz. This efavirenz is the first line HIV drug, and we want to know, how is it accessible in the hospital? How come patients have access?
Key drivers of our work, why we went to assess the presence of ARVs in farm chicken, was that there are media reports about misuse of ARVs in farm animals. We had not got any scientific data confirming this misuse, and that drove us to doing this work, to generate data that people can rely on for future works, because there was none at the time of the study.
Although many people have not taken it serious, the problem is going through the whole world. People are taking drugs, the ARVs or the ART drugs, just as anything as just simple, because they know government pays, so they don't care who or what consumes them. There is little knowledge about what can be the effect of these ART in the people or on the animals themselves. So, what must be done? What research has been done?
We did both qualitative and quantitative bits, so we used mixed methods. And for the qualitative part, we had key informant interviews. So we interviewed farmers and chicken feed providers. We're interested in asking the perceptions of these farmers on the use of these medicines and how they access them and why they actually use them. So our quantitative bit was to quantify how much ARVs are in chicken tissue, but also in the chicken feeds.
Of course, we went through different steps, including weighing the sample, mixing the sample, vortexing the sample, until we got a sample that we could inject into the machine. The machine is called high-performance liquid chromatography. So during the analysis, we already have the efavirenz standard, which we know that has concentration. That concentration, how you know it comes in form of a graph, a curve. So you get a sample run versus that concentration. If a sample does not have a curve at that point of the efavirenz powder, then you consider that sample to be negative. It does not have any efavirenz concentrations. However, to our surprise, there are samples that actually had curves, small curves, but also curves that were huge. So those curves, when you plot them out, they correlate into concentrations. So based on that, we were able to present data to him and say, in this batch of samples, some are negative, but there are also those that have concentrations of efavirenz.
Ignorantly, some farmers in the district and the local areas of Uganda and some parts of the world think that birds like broilers, which would take at least 4 months or 4 weeks to mature, would take only 3 weeks to mature. So they start giving them ARVs or ART drugs so that they grow very fast. Some of them also still think that these drugs, especially the reticulava drug, increases the appetite of the animal. So they give them to pigs to increase on the appetite and hence increasing on the size. Researchers insist that consuming birds or pigs that have ART tissues in them would bring serious public health to the community.
The fact that we were able to detect ARVs in farm chicken shows that actually there's a misuse of ARVs in the farm chicken. So what this means is that we're exposing our people to very low amounts of ARVs as they eat the chicken. If the virus is exposed to low amounts of these drugs, then there's a possibility of developing resistance. So at the time when we want to use the ARVS as a first-line treatment of people who develop eventually HIV/AIDS, it may not work because the virus might have developed resistance.
Yeah, to curb down the situation, the researchers still insist the government should improvise the standard system of giving out the drugs, that is online system, and also you should sensitize the masses that these drugs are meant for human consumption and shouldn't be given to the animals. Yes, these animals which consume the drugs end up being consumed by human beings and cause danger to their health.
Must sensitize them on the appropriate use of medicines. The medicines are used in farming to treat poultry and other farm animals.
Farmers do not only give ARVs or ART drugs to poultry or chickens, but also some of them have resorted to giving to the pigs too. A story done by NBS Uganda television showed that parts of Kayunga districts in eastern Uganda have resorted to give ART drugs to pigs. However, the government has come in to sensitize the masses about it, and we believe with a lot of information to the people, there will be something done, and the people will come to terms with human health and animal health.
They have discovered that it is good to their pigs, to boost the size of their pigs, but in the normal terms, it is very hazardous to the consumers of pork.
You are ready?